Welcome back to UNTalk. I'm your host, Joel Miwa.
I'm Isabel Schutze.
Yes, and we're officially here on our second episode.
So excited.
I know, I can't believe it. It feels like we just did this like yesterday, honestly.
It goes so quickly.
Yeah,
it's insane.
it's awesome. But yeah, we're here, second episode, and if you haven't had the chance to listen to our first, definitely view it. Tune into it. We had the chance to speak with Michelle Redman, who has had an extensive career in producing and writing for television, and she was absolutely amazing. That episode is now available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, so be sure to tune into that. Or if you want to just watch us, see us in our pretty little faces, then you can go ahead and tune in on NorthTexasTelevision.com, and you can listen to us in our premiere episode. Is actually going to premiere on NTTV Network, so that's really exciting.
I know, it's going to be so amazing. And that first episode was so much fun to shoot. It was so much fun.
It was.
She is such an incredible person.
She really is.
She is just, I was in awe of how crazy her career has been. It's such a roller coaster. Yeah,
I mean, she's had an extensive background, so it was really awesome to be able to bring you guys that kind of content. It's always a great thing, and that's definitely our mission, is to bring you guys that kind of level of experience from our guests. So it was awesome having someone like her to be on our first episode, and with that in mind, like her, today we have an incredible guest with us, and we're just so lucky to have awesome people on our show. I mean, I guess we're just likable or something.
I know.
It's
like,
come
out of nowhere.
Yeah, I don't know. But we have Ana Castillejos, who is on the Kidd Kraddick Morning Show. She does a lot of their social media, and she's actually on the show on a daily basis. Mm-hmm. So if you don't know, the Kidd Kraddick Morning Show is a nationally recognized radio show that also appears on Kidd TV, so you can catch Ana on there as well with the cast. So yeah.
Yeah, and she's also the host of 2 podcasts, Channel Surfing and On Cloud Wine podcast. So Ana, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you so much for being here.
What an intro.
I know, right? No, but honestly, thank you so much for joining us today.
It's no problem.
Yeah, you know what? I have the privilege of knowing Ana because I am actually interning at the Kidd Kraddick Morning Show right now. Mm-hmm. And don't tell them how I'm doing. I don't want to.
You're doing amazing.
I don't want to mess up the good credibility that I'm showcasing here. No, but I've only been there for 2 months. Maybe 3. Doesn't it feel longer?
It feels like you've been there like my whole life. In a good way.
I
don't mean like, oh my God, you've been there forever. I mean, like,
Go
just
away.
Immediately off the bat, I felt like we just knew each other.
Yeah, okay.
And you've been a guest on my podcast too. You're
Channel
a pro.
Surfing.
Mm-hmm.
Tune in. We spoke about The Politician, which is a
Netflix
original show.
I
And that
love
was a
that
lot
show.
of fun. Yeah. Well, tune in because, I mean, there's a couple spoilers in there, but if you haven't watched it at this point, it's your loss. No, it's been an honor being able to work with you. And I don't know if you know this, but word around the block is that I'm going to be back for another semester.
Oh, good.
I know. You were just itching for me
I'm
to
it's not even a possibility to think that you're leaving.
Yeah,
You're part of the crew.
Yeah, but so I know that you actually started working with the show as an intern as well, right?
I did.
Yeah, so how was that? How did you get involved in interning with the show? Was that something you always planned on doing?
Yeah, so I grew up listening to the Kidd Kraddick Morning Show. I was a fan for forever.
Same.
And I actually wanted to intern when I was in high school because the studio was really close to where I lived, where I grew up. But on their website it says like, oh, must be a college student. So I was like, okay, I'll wait. So I waited a few years, and then when I was between my sophomore and junior year that summer, I interned. And then I loved it so much, like absolutely loved it. Mm-hmm. Then my senior year, I just like emailed and I was like, hey, I'm taking night classes this semester. Miss you guys. Can I come back and just work for free? And they were like, yeah, sure, why not? Awesome. So I went and interned a second time, my spring semester, my senior year. So I would like go in the mornings to the morning show, drive back to Fort Worth because I went to TCU, drive back to Fort Worth, go to class, and then like do everything. So it was kind of heavy, but it was amazing. And so then that kind of progressed and turned into a job like right when I graduated, and now I'm here.
When you interned, did you do social media as well, or was that new?
No, I did video production. So basically, the internship that Joel has right now, that's how I started as well.
That's good.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah. So basically, just like editing videos for social media for our show, and then that kind of evolved into doing like video production full time for them, which then evolved to being on air. Plus, like social media is something I kind of took over more recently.
Okay, so you haven't been doing social media for...
No, I started doing social media back in May.
In May?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, well that's cool. So being in that current position now, you do a great job. I mean, I obviously follow Kidd Nation on Instagram. Shout out. So be sure to follow that. Yeah. So on Kidd Nation, you post all the time, and in reference to what you're saying, I do the videos for you to post. So I know what they're gonna look like, and if you see them, that's me right here.
Yeah, it's super cool.
Guilty, I do that. But yeah, so do you enjoy doing social media for them?
Yeah.
Yeah, you really like it?
I mean, whenever they offered it to me, they're like, hey, would you want to do social media? In my head, I was like, well, I spend all my time on social media anyway. Might as well.
Right.
Get paid for it?
Get paid
for being on Twitter?
Getting
sure, no problem. But the more I've done it, the more I've kind of realized, like, content-wise, it's like different content for our Twitter page than for our Instagram, and for our Instagram story than for our Facebook, and now TikTok is a thing, so it's kind of like different content for different platforms. It's kind of something I've learned and try to. They also, like, something that they told me whenever they wanted me to do social media is that they wanted our accounts to basically have a voice and not just be like a generic, like, hey, here's what we talked about today.
Right.
But more so like interact with listeners and like put a voice behind the account, which is what I've tried to do essentially.
That's really cool.
So thanks. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you guys have a TikTok?
We do. It's new.
Yeah, I think that's new, right?
It is
I was
new.
about to say.
Yes, well, just because, TikTok, like, in itself, like, it's been around for, I think, like 2 years.
Yeah, it's super
But more
new.
so, it's just started to blow up.
Yeah.
And I know that it's like young kids that are on there, but then when I saw that, like, Ellen had a TikTok, and SNL had a TikTok, and Jimmy Fallon, I was like, why don't we have one,
Right.
A lot of celebrities started getting them.
Yeah, like, pretty recently.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we have maybe, like, 3 or 4 videos on there right now. Like, it's nothing. And I've kind of taken the videos that Joel makes for, like, our Instagram stories, and the ones that I feel I can double as TikTok videos I'll post. And then like today we made one specifically for TikTok because, like I said, like, social media platforms require different content. Yeah. Like, a TikTok video wouldn't necessarily be the same thing as like an Instagram post or a Facebook video. So it's just kind of. Because
it just depends, like, now that, it's funny because how long have you been doing this now? Like, for the social media now officially, like, it's been how long for you?
I guess almost like 6 months?
Almost 6 months? Wow, so you're like fairly new to the
social media, to running our social media account.
Which is crazy because you really do a great job.
Thank you.
It's like, it doesn't seem, like, I don't even know how to upload a video link to it. I'm like struggling trying to do it. I literally thought to myself, I was literally thinking to myself, I need to ask Hannah how you do that, or I could Google it.
Or just ask me, it's fine.
But I was like, just to make conversation with Anna, I'm going to ask her. But with that in mind, what has been the biggest challenge for you doing social media for such a big, nationally recognized radio show?
I mean, kind of just realizing that I'm talking to so many people at once. It's not like my own personal page where I can just kind of like post like, oh, whatever, going to lunch, and like no one really cares, It's more so like, our account has almost 200,000 followers, and we have like 900,000 followers on Facebook. So I kind of have to really realize, like, check my typos.
Yeah.
Because if I don't, they will let me know.
They will call you out.
And I guess just kind of having that in the back of my head, where I think, like, okay, if there's something that's really, really trendy that we want to be on top of, but it's a little bit inappropriate, I'm like, okay, well, how can I make that appropriate? Or how can I make that for our listeners? Right. Like, how can I take a viral dance challenge and make it our own kind of thing? So I guess what I do like about it, though, that it's different every single day.
Every single day.
I don't just show up to work and it's like, oh, the same, like 9 to 5, like, got to do X, Y, Z. It's like different content, different conversations every single day.
In fact,
that's why I like it.
Yeah, and in fact, it's not 9 to 5. It's 5 to like 11, 12 a.m.
Yeah, just on the other.
It's that was the hardest part for me when I started interning.
Yeah, well,
I was
remember
like,
when I first, like, my first week as an intern,
not complaining.
I asked somebody, I was like, how did you get used to the early mornings? And they just go, you don't.
You don't. You're
Here
always
I am, like,
tired.
5 years later, and guess what? You don't.
Yeah, I know. Well, I talked to all the girls in the video production room, and I'm always like, y'all, I'm tired. They're welcome to the Kidd Kraddick Morning Show.
You made it officially.
Where we entertain you with the loss of sleep.
Yeah.
No. So do you feel like, because you are on the radio on a daily basis, you always give shout out to like birthdays and things like that. So how has that been for you doing social media or doing behind the scenes stuff, and now you're kind of like on the radio like every day?
I mean, it's definitely been a transition.
Yeah.
Because initially the idea was like, hey, we want you to do social media and kind of like contribute a little bit on air, and then that kind of evolved to me being on air every single day. And so it's really cool because, I mean, sometimes I'm sitting there while the cast is talking and I'm thinking like, okay, how can I turn, like while they're talking, I'm in my head thinking like, how can I make this a funny Instagram story or like, you know, something like that. Like I feel like half of my brain is listening and half of my brain is like trying to figure out something creative at the same time.
Yeah, I totally get that.
But it's been good. I remember whenever I first started like thinking about like my career and what I want to do and everything, I always told myself that I want to do something that always keeps me creatively challenged. Like I want to do something that I'm on my toes all the time creatively, because I feel like if I don't explore my creative side, then I go crazy.
Yeah.
So with this, I think I've nailed it.
Yeah.
I think you have. You have.
So did you go onto the show with like any expectations of like what you wanted your job to be? Did you want to end up on air?
It wasn't the initial plan, but once I kind of started to see that was a possibility, it was definitely something I started working for. Like once I it took me a minute to really get comfortable like in my skin and in my own voice kind of thing. And then I remember watching Grey's Anatomy and there's an episode where Meredith Grey says, "You have a voice, so use it." Yeah. And for some reason that quote just like stuck with me and I was like, no, you're right. I do have a voice and I do want to use it. And our show specifically, like our demographic leans towards females in their 20s. So when I realized like I'm a female in my 20s,
guilty,
maybe my voice should be heard more than it is, I kind of really started working for it, which led to where I am now, which is great.
Yeah. And how do you like being on?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah,
it's awesome. Yeah, I think I get more comfortable every day.
So, you know, with that in mind, obviously for all the pros that come with that, there's also cons. So do you feel like becoming a publicly recognized persona or person has changed you at all?
Not yet.
Not yet?
No.
Hasn't gotten to my head yet.
No, not quite yet. No. I mean, I am new to like being in the public, obviously. So whenever I see like a bad comment about myself, like that hurts, you know, like I don't have thick skin at all, but I kind of have to remember like, okay, for every bad comment, there's 20 good ones, you know? That's awesome. I mean, being with like our cast, like at the morning show, they've been in the game for a while. So whenever I tell them like, oh no, someone said something mean about me on Instagram, they're like, don't worry about it. Like, don't waste your time. So it's really great to have them as like mentors in a way.
Right.
But yeah, I'd definitely just say that just because I'm learning to take criticism from people I don't know.
That must be insane. I can't even imagine just people can be so mean on the
internet.
It's
having to deal with
just
that.
They don't realize that you're an actual person that can read those things.
Yeah, I get why like Taylor Swift has her comments disabled, you know?
Oh, yeah, I would too.
Yeah, honestly. And so do you feel like how have you grown as a person since you started working with the show?
I think I've just definitely become, more comfortable on air, obviously, but also more comfortable in my own skin. Like, I feel like I used to, I've always considered myself as like an introverted extrovert kind of thing, but now I feel like, no, I am more confident in the things I say and the jokes I make and like the content that I want to produce, like things like that. So
I find you to be hilarious.
Thank you.
Honestly. Like I literally sit there and watch you live on the show and you're always doing something funny, something you're super extrovert about the things that you do when you're on air.
Thank you.
And no, like when I'm editing the videos, I'll like be laughing by myself.
Oh my gosh.
Because and I told Cammie this the other day. Cammie, who actually oversees me and everything that I do in video production, she runs Kidd TV. So she's actually like what I guess Delaney's doing now. She switches between the camera.
Shout out Delaney.
I know, directing, yes, girl. So she literally, she was like, one day she just happened to ask me, who's your favorite on the show now that you've started working here? And I'm like, well, first of all, I'll always love Kelly.
Of course.
Always a queen. I remember when she first came to introduce herself. Oh my.
You were like,
I literally was starstruck. I was like, and she was so sweet. Like she literally went out of her way. She came up to me and she's like, hello. And I had like my headphones in, so I didn't even hear her. Oh my God, I was so embarrassed. So I'm like sitting there. I know, it was so embarrassing. So I'm sitting there. I'm like audio editing or video editing, and then she like comes up and she's like, hello, hi. And I'm like, and then all of a sudden I see her because she's tall. You can't miss her. And so then I'm like, oh, hi, Kelly, can I help you with something? Like, I was confused. Like, why are you talking to me?
Aww.
I'm like this little peasant intern. No, she's totally not like that. But she's like, hi, I'm Kelly Raspberry. I'm like, oh, I know who you are. She's like,
we don't
I
know
know.
what?
I'm like, oh, bless your heart. And she's like, I'm Kelly Raspberry. I just wanted to make sure that you felt welcome here. And I hope you enjoy your time with us on the show and you learn a lot. I was
she's
like,
amazing.
That is so.
if she was a queen, now she's a goddess. Like, I just fell in love with her even more.
Yeah.
But there was a point to why I was even saying this, and now I can't even.
Just about how great Kelly is.
But yeah, just
amazing.
to say how amazing she is. But oh yeah, here's my point. Cammie asked me who my favorite was, and I'm like, I love Kelly, but Ana cracks me up.
Oh my God!
Like, you crack me up. It's just your dance move. Like, I love it. You're so animated on the show. And so I see why they want to have someone like you on there. How could they not? It'd be like crazy to not have you on the show. So it's really good to see everything that you're doing, which is really awesome.
The reason I came on this UNTalk was to just get all these compliments.
Yeah. That's the only reason.
We need to be hyped up a little bit.
Well, and you know, the theme of our episode, or why we wanted to have you on the show, is, you know, you're a millennial in this industry.
Yeah.
You know, and we're obviously upcoming, trying to do our thing here on UNTalk and trying to establish our, our show. It's been difficult, right? I mean, it's not an easy task. No. It's definitely difficult. So, you know, I was wondering how you hope to shape this kind of industry, being a millennial today with media. Like, what do you want to do going forward?
I mean, I think that like where we're at right now, just in general, with social media, with everything being so easily accessible. Like I said, I think everybody has a voice. Like everybody, like literally everybody can say what they think about anything. Everybody has an opinion. Everybody can get it out there. But I would really want to just take that and make it like really positive, I guess. You know, I think like the world we live in can be kind of cruel, but I really hope to bring, you know, people like laughter and like a positive light. Like I want people to get on social media and see something that they like and they enjoy, like makes them laugh, like, or listen to our show in the mornings and be like, oh my God, this brightened up a bad day that I was having, or like anything like that. And I guess just like being a millennial and being young, just appealing to other people that are like in our age group as well, and kind of hope that they know that you really can do anything that you want to do. You know? Yeah, like, absolutely. Like, I mean, you guys are killing it with this. Like, you guys are doing amazing, and like, you're only on your way up. Like, honestly, no, like, I mean that. Like, y'all are in college and you're already doing your entire like show and podcast and everything, and like, this is like so legit. So like, you guys are really like on your way to like pure success. So, but yeah, I mean, and I would hope that there's more people like you guys also that hope to take like entertainment and our media and just kind of make it a good thing, you know? Because there's so much negative things out there. Yeah, so we gotta just... We want to create content that's positive and that, you know, really shapes, you know, people's day. For sure. You know? Yeah. That really is something I love about being young. And honestly, I'm a freshman, so I've been here for... You're a freshman? Yes. Stop. Yeah, so I've been here for literally a couple of months. But even just the couple of months I've been here, I have been kind of just like blown away by how everyone is like, oh yeah, we just want to make content for people that'll make them smile. And I'm like, what? There's something in the world that's like people just want other people to have fun. They just want to make people smile. And I was like, okay. Things in this they just what? There's no like ulterior motives like all the old people say. Like no, it's so nice just to be a part of that. But so I was wondering with you having like your two podcasts and the show, how do you like maintain a balance? Like, do you have like a work-life balance, or is it kind of, because I feel like you would have a lot of friends at the shows and stuff, so does it kind of mesh together like that? Or? Yeah, for sure. I mean, especially like my podcast. So I have one called Channel Surfing, which is basically just about like TV and movies. That's the one that Joel was on. And I started that one 2 years ago, and I basically... I mean, great sometimes podcast. Like I love it. Thank you. Yeah, I love the theme. And the reason that was easy for me to do is because I mean I already like watch so much like TV and movies anyway, and I've always been a movie buff. Like I got my degree in film, TV, and digital media, so I was always into like movies, TV, everything. So sometimes when I'm watching a show, I'm like, why not make this my job? You know, essentially. Right. Like I binge watch The Politician and then I talk about it on a podcast. Like I really can't even consider that work, but it is. And then my other podcast, On Cloud Wine, I do with one of my best friends. Her name's Alicia. we basically just get together and hit record and then just catch up with everything. So that, again, like, it doesn't feel like work. And I know it's so cliche to say, like, oh, like, if you do a job you love, you'll never work a day in your life. But, like, man, that's true. Okay, so, and then as far as, like, the morning show goes, I mean, that's just been a blessing on blessings on blessings. You know?
No,
I basically, all I do is talk, which is crazy now that I think about it. Oh, the morning show and 2 podcasts. But yeah, I mean, my friends that I have, like, outside of work are really, really supportive. I have a very supportive boyfriend as well, and they understand too whenever I have to cancel because we have to do like an interview on a Saturday night or, you know, what have you. They're really, really supportive, and they listen to the show, so they know. My parents live in Houston, and they text me every now and then about stuff, and they're like, we know more about your life through your podcast. And I was like, no, I swear I'll call more often.
Aww, so, well, that's so cute that they listen to it.
Yeah, they listen. Yeah, my parents listen to my podcast and to the morning show every morning. So they always, they know what's up. Like, I'll talk about something on the show, and they'll call me and be like, oh, so I heard you say, you know,
we got to help her pay her bills. We got to give them listeners. Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, but.
That's so cute.
But yeah, I think I'm also just lucky to have such a supportive group of people like around me. Yeah. So it does make the work-life balance very easy. Yeah. I didn't even think about a work-life balance just because.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's what we're here for, to question everything about your life.
Awesome. Super cool.
No. So, what has been your favorite thing about working on the show?
I mean, I think kind of like how I said earlier that it's different every single day. Yeah. You know, like it's a new day every day. It's new content, new guests, new people in the studio. I mean, obviously getting to talk to celebrities is a huge plus.
Yes, that's my plug for my next question.
Yes.
I was going to ask you, I mean, I guess I will for the sake of our listeners, because if they don't know you.
Of course.
Because I've been thinking I would ask you what your favorite celebrity encounter has been, but obviously I know the answer to that question. But go ahead and tell our listeners.
Okay, so I got to meet the Jonas Brothers.
Yes.
Which was awesome, but that was just because I like went to their concert and it like worked out. But
that wasn't even like as
a
show
work
related,
thing.
right?
That
It
just
wasn't
kind of
even a work thing.
No.
Yeah, no, that just like worked out in my favor, like because all the gods above. But work-wise, my favorite celebrity encounter would definitely be in like, oh god, this makes me sound so like, oh yeah, whatever, I've met so and so. But truly, Ed Sheeran is probably the coolest person I've ever met.
When did you get to meet him? Was this like in the beginning, early stages of his career?
So he came to our show like right when he was starting, but that was before I was there. Okay. And I had heard that he was really, really cool. It was like right before he blew up, and he was supposed to come by and perform a song or two. He ended up performing like 5 or 6.
Oh, wow.
Super cool. He was really close friends with Kidd Kraddick.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
And so then we got to talk to him, not on his like last tour he was on, but the one before, so maybe like a year and a half ago. Right. We got to interview him. Yeah.
That's prime right there still.
Yeah, it was really, really cool. It was awesome. I remember, so I was filming the interview, so I was basically doing what you're doing now. And JC was doing the actual interview, and it was like at the venue, like backstage, and we walked in and he was so chill, so cool. He like immediately was like, hey, like, so good to see you again, to like JC, and I was like, hi, good to meet you for the first time. Super awesome. I was filming it and I didn't have a tripod, and so like my hand was like shaking, the camera was like,
yo, that was me with the Tiffany Young interview. I was like, stay still,
like, so nervous.
Stay still.
So nervous, but he was just the coolest. That's definitely hands down my favorite.
So cool. Oh my gosh. When do I start my internship?
I know, right? That is, I mean, I had the chance to meet Tiffany Young this past Saturday.
Yeah, which was awesome.
Yeah, so Justin and Anna got the chance to interview her, and she's gorgeous, first of all. Yeah, so I started listening to her music. It's really great, by the way. So that was, that was a jam. That was a jam. And then that night, later on that night, Justin and I went out, and that song was like our theme song. I swear.
Awesome.
But she's awesome. So I totally get that. Yeah. Being able to do that is really, it's awesome. First of all, it's like a great learning experience. Yeah. Because you learn so much doing that kind of stuff. And the internship that I get to have at the show, I'm like, man, I could totally see why it's like, I mean, it's valuable in the fact that you learn so much. Yeah. I mean, that's really what you want to aim for with an internship. So, yeah, absolutely.
And you're killing it. You're doing amazing, sweetie.
Mommy's proud of you.
You're doing amazing.
Mommy's proud of you. Yeah. But, I mean, do you have any final questions?
Any final questions? Ooh,
I feel like we asked a lot of great questions.
I know. I was like looking through my list. What is there?
But I did think, as you were mentioning, because Kidd Kraddick, I mean, it's in the name. It's weird, isn't it? Like, I remember listening to Kidd talk on the show a lot, and that's who I grew up listening to.
Same. Me too.
And my favorite bit was when he did the Kinsey bit.
Oh my God, yes.
That's your favorite too?
Yeah. Oh my God,
JC. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Yes.
No, so that was my favorite, and it's so weird. I mean, I looked up to Kidd, and I love the show and the cast, and it's weird being part of a show where, you know, this man who started it all, and it's his legacy.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, like, you know, being a part of something like that is incredible. And I'm sure you share a similar feeling when you think about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think like the rest of the cast, like Kelly and Big Al, JC and Jenna, I think they do such a great job of keeping his legacy alive and keeping him alive. And they always have stories to tell. They always have, I don't know, I think they've just done a really beautiful job of keeping him as part of the show, because it was his show, you know, and because of him, like, I have a job. So it's really,
exactly.
Really cool.
I remember just listening to it like every day on the way to school, like with my parents and like with my sisters being in the car. And I was really young whenever he passed away, and I just remember because I didn't really notice that I listened to it. You know, I was really young, so it was just kind of like something that was always on. Yeah. But then whenever he passed away, I just remember Kidd Kraddick Morning Show becoming something so much bigger in my life. Like, it was such a big deal. And I listened to it all the way through like intermediate school, through middle school, through high school. Yeah. Like, I sometimes still listen to it. It's harder because I don't have like a radio in my room. Right. Because I'm in a dorm. But I definitely still, it's such an amazing show.
Yeah. It's weird, you know, because when I remember when I applied to be an intern, I had always had a goal to be a part of or associated with the show somehow. Yeah. And it's weird to be in there now, like editing videos. And I remember like at one point I had like a surreal moment when I'm like looking up like the screen above, like in front of where I edit the videos, and seeing the show come to life. And I was like, wow, like, you know, when you have goals and you reach them. Yeah. And it's just like, pat on the back, Mitchell.
Oh, I'm so proud of you.
No, but it's just was like, it's so surreal to be able to be a part of something that does so much good. Like the Kids trip is coming up. Yeah. And I know that's like a major impact on so many families, right? And so that's what I want to be a part of. That's the kind of show that I want to be a part of. So keep doing you, because you're doing amazing. I mean, honestly, I only see you going up, even from being where you're at now.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, and you know, thank you so much for joining us today, Anna, and to all of our listeners and viewers, we appreciate your support. Before we end the show, we end the show with a bowl of questions that people who know of you wanted to ask.
No way.
So go ahead and choose two, and then we just go ahead and read it out loud, and then answer the question.
Okay. How exciting.
Yes.
Okay. This says, who from the cast did you fangirl the most over? Definitely Kelly Raspberry.
Okay,
like,
we're on the same page there.
Yeah, like Kelly Raspberry was the voice of like my entire like not even just childhood, but just like my whole life. Yeah. Like even to this day, even now that I know Kelly like personally and everything, I still am in situations where I'm like, what would Kelly Raspberry do? You know? So definitely Kelly.
Hence love letters to Kelly.
And I mean, all of them. The first time I met Big Al, he was exactly as friendly as I
as
thought
you imagined,
he would be. Yeah, JC is just a child at heart, and Jenna is just an amazing woman. So I mean, there's a reason that the show is what it is, and it's because of them. Yeah. So.
You're right. Okay, one more question.
Okay, cool.
Hopefully you get the one that I saw, because I was like, ooh.
It's gonna be like, who's your favorite Jonas brother? Just kidding. Okay, aside from being on a successful radio show, what else do you hope to accomplish in your career? Ooh, I don't know. Well, now that I've been on UNTalk, basically reached all my goals. No, I mean, I don't know. I guess just I want to see the show succeed as well, and I want to be a part of it. So. Yeah.
I guess being on air full time.
Like full
that would
everything.
Definitely be a goal.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
And,
I'm kind of like, I want you to answer this one question. Okay,
We're
this
just gonna
one.
look
I knew it. Okay, do you want me to just pretend I'm like
yeah, okay,
pulling
just
out of the bowl?
she's just found it on her own.
Post-production.
It wasn't intended at all.
Okay, like, oh, let me reach for the bowl.
Go ahead.
There we go.
What question did you get?
What? This is wild. You're stuck on an island and you can only be stuck with one Jonas brother. Who and why? Frankie. No, I'm just kidding. Nick Jonas, obviously.
Nick Jonas.
He's the greatest love of my entire life.
Sorry, boyfriend, if you're listening or watching.
Sorry, who?
Sorry, boyfriend.
Oh, yeah, I know. No, he knows. It's fine.
knows.
It's fine. It's no secret.
Yeah.
No, Nick Jonas is like here for me. You know, like how most people look at Beyonce and they're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, that's me
Yes.
with Nick Jonas. Like,
So, just so everyone knows, same. Same. We'll be stuck in an island. We'll make it work.
yes. Sorry, Priyanka.
Yeah, sorry, Priyanka. But thank you again so much, Anna, for joining us today. And to all of our listeners and our viewers, we love you and we appreciate all your support and your love. For sure.
Thank you so much. And then Anna, where can we find you for social media and where can they find your podcasts?
Yeah, I'm on social media at AnaCast31. That's ANACAS 31. And my podcasts, Channel Surfing and On Cloud Wine, are available on any podcast platform, Spotify, Apple, Google Play, anywhere you find your regular podcasts.
Yeah.
Anywhere you're listening to this,
Yeah, exactly.
go ahead and search me as well.
Yes,
And
well,
yeah, my episode with Joel is on The Politician.
and it's
so super
awesome.
cool.
So definitely download it, listen to it, because shout out. But be sure to follow us on Instagram and on Twitter at UNTalk_podcast. And be sure to check out our first episode if you haven't already on Spotify and Apple Podcasts as well. And thank you guys again so much for being here with us tonight.